Wow. The Golden State Warriors just shocked all of us once again. In what seems like a dead deal just a day before the deadline, they finally pulled the trigger with this trade. As a Warriors fan, this is such a game-changing move for me, and something that I'll be thinking about until next season when Steph and Klay finally come back from their injuries and see what this team is really made of. But don't worry, I'll be sharing with you guys in a bit my initial thoughts on how this trade is for the Warriors and the Timberwolves as well. In what I would say is the most hyped deal of the 2020 trade deadline, I think both teams are happy with what they got. D'Angelo Russell is going to the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Andrew Wiggins is headed to the Golden State Warriors in the big deal struck hours before the deadline passed Thursday afternoon. Here's the full breakdown of the trade between the two teams. So Golden State gets Andrew Wiggins, a top 3 protected first round pick that becomes unprotected in 2022, and a 2021 second round pick. Minnesota, as we all know, gets D'Angelo Russell, but they also get Jacob Evans and Omari Spellman. The Wolves landed the guard they desperately wanted in Russell, who is also a close friend of Karl Anthony Towns. They finally get to reunite and be able to do some damage in Minnesota. As we all have seen and observed, Wiggins hasn't been that good for most of his career, being a former number 1 overall pick. But this year, he managed to tease us again of what he could be because of a fantastic start with the Timberwolves. He's played in 42 games this season, and Wiggins has been a completely different player in his first 21 games for the year. Things were going great back then, and Minnesota was in the running for the 8th seed, and actually winning some games. In that span, Wiggins averaged 25 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 3.3 assists per game on 46% shooting from the field and 33% from deep. He looked like a legit all-star and made doubters turn into believers. The next 21 games, were to put it lightly, was trash. His averages went down to 19.9 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 4.1 assists on 42.4% shooting, all while his team is on a 13-game losing streak as of today. The Warriors are not only hoping to get the guy from the first couple of games, they're hoping to get the best of Wiggins and make him a legitimate player in their rotation. Andrew Wiggins might not be the shiniest or biggest name available in the market, but he has a lot more value than he's been in the past 2 years. A fresh start in San Francisco could help him regain his confidence and fit alongside his team, and with reliable superstar veterans to guide him in his prime. Because of that, I feel like the Warriors will jumpstart this dynasty once again. That's why in this video, we're going to analyze the Minnesota and Golden State trade and why the Warriors made a great move by pulling the trigger on Andrew Wiggins. Before anything else, what's up guys, it's Nico here. If you guys love seeing more videos like this, it would be great if you could like this video since it really helps in delivering more consistent content for all of you. I'm always accepting content suggestions from you guys since I want to challenge myself a little bit more with the type of topics I want to talk about or share with you. If you want to see those hot takes or new content, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the post notifications bell so that you would be the first one to know when I post a new video. Anyway, let's move on to the topic at hand. Let's first talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves and what they get from this. The Wolves, as we all know, chased Russell hard as a free agent in the summer of 2019, only to see him end up in Golden State as part of a sign and trade with the Brooklyn Nets for Kevin Durant. Minnesota never stopped and finally landed their guy in D'Lo, who Cat considers as one of his best friends. If you guys would ask me what grade I would give this, it's definitely an A+. No doubt about it. I had never thought they would be able to pull this trade off in the first place, so good job to the front office. The Wolves must be so happy right now since it's moves like this that makes your superstar happy and keep him in the team for the foreseeable future. D'Angelo Russell fills Minnesota's massive hole at the point guard spot. Through him, they're able to add a young all-star back when he was with the Nets and has shown some improvements in his numbers while he was with the struggling Golden State Warriors. He's currently averaging 23.6 points, 6.2 assists, 3.7 rebounds on 43.6% shooting from the field, 37.4% from 3, and 78.5% from the line. By bringing him in, Minnesota gets a high-volume shooter and a scorer who also helps the Wolves' big need for improved three-point shooting. He's been attempting 9.7 3-pointers this year and gives Coach Ryan Saunders a lot of options to work with now that he has another knockdown shooter in his team. But the biggest winner of this deal is none other than Karl Anthony Towns. Towns has been really frustrated with Minnesota lately since they're on a really bad losing streak and are now 14th in the West. Ironically, just ahead of the Warriors for the last spot in the conference. The Wolves still have a long way to go when it comes to building their roster, but they now have a cornerstone in the backcourt to match their cornerstone in the center spot. Picking up the Nets' 2020 pick in the Covington deal helps offset the loss of their first rounder they gave up for Russell. That Nets pick may fall around the 16 to 20 range, so that's not bad at all. Let's now talk about the negatives for the season at least. The Wolves will still be trash on defense since Russell is no all-defensive team candidate. In fact, Towns isn't known for his defense either. Because of that, expect this team to score the heck out of the ball and hopefully win their remaining games through offense. This is a fun team to watch, and a team that I would love to follow on NBA League Pass. This is also a great win for Jason Roses and the front office as well. They were able to unload the Andrew Wiggins contract that's worth 5 years, $147.7 million to be exact, that many Minnesota fans thought would be a bad one since he'll be with the team until the summer of 2023 when he was set to be an unrestricted free agent. Second, he envisioned a duo of Towns and Russell excelling in the pick and roll this year, all while developing as two good friends who are both working on their games together for the foreseeable future. On top of that, what most people didn't realize is that the Wolves were able to put a protection on their 2021 first round pick. I know for a fact that Minnesota will be good enough next year that the pick falls somewhere in the 2025 range in the first round and will go to Golden State. But if worst comes to worst, and the Timberwolves go into tank mode again for whatever reason next year, they will be able to hold on to that selection if it falls in the lottery. Not only does this deal bring Roses his dream duo, but this also sends a strong message to Towns that they are working on building a future championship contending team in Minnesota. Let's now talk about what this trade means for the Golden State Warriors and why the Wiggins trade makes sense. The moment the Warriors traded for D'Angelo Russell, the media and a lot of Warriors fans knew that the fit in the backcourt would be weird when Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson return. But all those worries are now gone since the Dubs were able to flip D'Lo to fill a much needed help at the wing position while also adding another pick selection in the 2021 NBA Draft. Let's be real guys, Wiggins has failed to live up to his huge hype thus far, especially after signing a 5-year $147 million extension in 2017. While Wiggins has been criticized for his often lazy play and up and down production, he is still enjoying the best year of his career this season. Wiggins will be bringing his 22.4 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 3.7 assists on 44.4% shooting from the field and 33.1% from 3 to Golden State while still having the physical gifts that got him in the NBA in the first place. Roster-wise, Wiggins is a more natural fit alongside Curry and Thompson, despite Russell being the more talented player. While Wiggins is far from the perfect player on a hefty contract, he will only turn 25 years old this year and will be spending his prime with the Golden State Warriors. Unlike in Minnesota, there's no need for Wiggins to be a high-usage scoring option on a team that has two of arguably the greatest shooters the NBA has ever seen. I also feel like he's going to learn a lot from Draymond, despite how aggressive that guy could be. With the way things turned out with KD last year, hopefully Green has learned his lesson and be more mature enough with his teammates moving forward. Curry and Thompson aren't going anywhere, and neither is Green. With that core of players setting the tone on the court and in the locker room, Wiggins won't have to shoulder the leadership and the responsibility that unfortunately burdened him back when he was with the Wolves. The draft pick going from the Wolves to the Warriors is huge no matter what, since that's a tradable asset in case the Warriors don't like where the pick lands. The Wolves are protecting the pick in the top 3 of the 2021 draft. It would then be unprotected in 2022. It's up to the Warriors on how they'll use this pick. May it be adding new blood to the roster around their aging stars, or include it in a future trade for an established player. The pick is going to have a lot of value. What's great is that the 2021 draft is much more talented than the 2020 draft, and the 2022 draft would be the first draft in a long while to finally include high school players once again. No matter how much criticism Wiggins might get, his saving grace here is that he is still young, still insanely athletic, and still not injury prone. For all of this to work in Golden State, it's really up to Wiggins and how he responds to this latest challenge in his life. Having a chance to win a championship is an opportunity not many players get during their career. Even though he's well paid or even overpaid to some degree, there's not much pressure on his shoulders since Steph, Klay, and Dre will take the majority of that. I want him to make it work in Golden State and be the fourth key piece as the Warriors start another run at the championship by next year. Wiggins may be a flawed player, but with Golden State, this might be the team he never knew he needed. What do you guys think about this move by the Golden State Warriors? Do you guys like having Andrew Wiggins around, or you would have preferred that the Warriors kept D'Angelo Russell instead? Let me know in the comment section below and I'll check every single one of them out. Don't forget to drop a like if you guys love all the NBA trades that went down this year. Consider subscribing and clicking on the notification bell icon so that you would be the first one to know whenever I upload a new video. YouTube has been crazy lately and I need every one of you in order to keep this channel up and running. Again, this is Pacific Hoops, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.